Hello, hello, hello. We are back again with Spy Sundays, our options weekly forecast where we go through the best options trades for you to take. We're going to analyze charts. We're going to play a little smash or pass. We're going to talk a little trading education. We're going to give you everything you need to have you set up nice, tight, and tender for this trading week. Last week, we had a lot of volatility. It was a short week. It was a difficult week for many traders. I know a lot of traders were panicked with the chaos, but there was still a lot of money to be made. As we can see here, looking at the weekly chart on the SPY, we pushed the size about 444, coming down and closing the week at about 439, which means we failed this resistance test right here. But fear not, hope is not lost. Welcome you all here. If you're new, please type new in the chat. If you are with us already, if you're trading with us live, getting the live alerts and the live stream day trading and everything else in the Discord, drop your username in the chat. I like to know who's here. Give some shout outs and thank you for showing up. I'm going to put the link to the Discord below for anybody that wants to join. We post alerts daily. They will benefit you greatly. You will make more money trading with us than trading by yourself. That's just the reality of the situation here. So we're going to rip right into it today with the SPY. Again, we talked about the weekly ending where it ended. Let's look at the daily to get a better picture of how it started and where it stopped. Better yet, we're going to go to the 4 hour and we're going to get a little bit more dialed in. So as we can see here, these last couple of days, volume was not as thin as it usually is on the 4th of July weekend. But that doesn't mean that we can't trust these results. It means we can actually trust them more than had the volume thinned out as much as it usually does. I would argue that we saw a pretty strong push a few of these days. However, if we look at the close on the 7th, I think that gives us the clearest picture available on what's going to happen in terms of price action right now. We pushed up and got immediately pushed back down. Sellers outpaced the buyers 2 days in a row, which means that they are currently holding the power in this situation. And I think realistically, they're probably going to push us down to 434.97. If that happens, we're going to have some good opportunity both ways, which means we're going to talk about the bullish scenarios and the bearish scenarios so that everybody gets a good idea. What's up, everybody? We got Nikki, MetaMatt, T. Robinson. We got the Stick Man. We got Gata, Nikki, T. Frost, Devastated, Josh Johnson. What's up, guys? How you living? I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're living well. So looking at the SPY here, again, on the 4 hour time frame here, we have what I hope will end up being a nice and tasty cup and handle here. We're going to get these tools out. We keep this simple. Anybody who tells you have to have 1,000 lines on your chart is absolutely full of it and leading you in the wrong direction. You do not. If you can learn how to draw horizontal lines on a chart, you will benefit, you will thrive, and you will trade efficiently. That's what we're going to do here is map this out so that you guys have the trades you need for the week. So looking at the SPY here, we topped out at about 443. We played above that line for a little bit, but then failed to break and hold. We pushed back down and sold off it, trading as low as 437.07 back on the 6th. So we saw buyers in the past come through here with absolute strength and momentum, right? So the action pushed us up. This was all buying. If you go back to June 15th, all buyers, right? So that tells us that this 434 level is a very interesting one to watch because there's a high likelihood that buyers will step back in. If they do, that just confirms to us that we're going to see continued upside and that buyers are going to have strength in the coming weeks as we clear through this zone. So what do we do? Well, when the market opens tomorrow, we want to watch to see if we could hold this, call it 438.25. So 438.25. Let's move this line there because that's going to be more important than that resistance, right? We want to see it hold above 438.25. If it does, then I think we're going to have some upside back to 440. We're going to test. We're going to see how it goes, and then we're going to probably come back down if we can't. If we can't break, we're definitely coming back down. But then we will see our real test of whether or not 438.25 is going to hold water or not. Let's assume tomorrow we see a break of this support, right? If we do, what can we expect next? Well, I'll answer for you. The next line that I would pay very close attention to is right here. We're just going to keep moving this one down. That line is 436. Call it 436. Forget this. It's 436. So as we're watching this 436 support, that's the next support we want to see hold. I'm not going to trade puts from 438 to 436. You can, but I'm probably not going to. It's a $2 move. Yeah, it could be great, but I think there's too much confusion here right around 438 that I just wouldn't feel as confident going to the position, but very likely that you could make some money as long as we break below 438.25. So let's draw this out so that you guys can see it. I know that you like seeing it. So let's say when we open, we get a little taste, a little 439. We come down and we break. I think we're going to head back to 436. And then we want to see if that holds. If 436 breaks, we are more than likely going to push to 434 and then inevitably down to 431. If we can hold there, we're in pretty good shape. And I wouldn't mind seeing a little downward momentum. So let's say this trades down, right? Here's what we're going to do. At that point, I do like the idea of trading this bounce back up to 436, and I think calls would be pretty appropriate there. But that's, again, a little bit longer term. By that point, this 200-day moving average is going to come up. I wouldn't mind seeing a support test there. Again, we pushed a new high here, but RSI did not confirm, right? We had RSI divergence here. That means that we pushed a new high here, but the chart did not render the same result in terms of the buyer's momentum. So that tells us that buyers lost their strength here, came down, that was confirmed, and that's why we're looking at what we're looking at. Now, should this little cup and handle situation play out, that means we're going to hold up right here. So let's go through the bearish. We went through the bearish. Let's look at the bullish scenario. Well, this one's a bit simpler. I think if we open up anywhere between 439 and 438 and a quarter, I think that there's a strong chance that we're going to push back up to 441, at which point calls would make sense. If we look at, 2 to 3 weeks expiration on a day trade only, do not hold, do not swing, day trade only, I think you'll make a nice bit of money there. And I think there's opportunity there. So again, scenario number one, scenario number one was bearish. We just discussed it. We talked through the plan. Rewind if you missed it. Scenario two, bullish. I think if we can open and hold between 439 and 438 and a quarter, then we are going to maintain this top channel right here, which means we have upside potentially to about 443. Realistically, we're probably going to retest right around 441, 442. So again, if that happens, that would be a nice day trade opportunity. We're going to be watching for that. We'll be posting those trades live in the Discord. If you're trading with us, you'll be getting those. If you're not, you definitely need to. So I want to take a minute. I want you guys to go ahead and start feeding in some information here. Drop it in the chat. What tickers do you want to look at? We're going to be going through a few charts today. I have a few planned, and then I wanted to take on a few that you guys were interested in to make sure that everybody's getting quenched and getting what they need. I want to make sure that we're efficient and effective tonight so that everybody gets what they need. Excuse me. Let me just type this in here. Bing. So we are excited for this week because, again, we saw momentum and we saw strength come in on the buy side, and then we saw sell-off. But more importantly, we saw continued volume through what is historically a very thin week. That is important to know. Why? Because if volume didn't thin out as much as it usually does, that means that there's more money invested in this market right now. There's more interest in the trades that are available given the current price levels that we're looking at. So again, for the SPY, we talked about our bearish scenario first, which would be a break below 438 and a quarter, and we'll watch for 436, and then we'll trade to 431. Again, all picks will be posted live in the Discord. The link's at the bottom if you want to get those picks. The second scenario is our bullish scenario that you see drawn here, and that's opening price above 438 and a quarter and holding, and then a push up to, call it 441, 442. I think 2-3 weeks out of expiration, this would be a phenomenal day trade opportunity. Again, those alerts and those picks will be posted live. The link's at the bottom if you want to get them. As always, if you guys could hit the like button, if you like what we're doing, that really tells us we're doing a good job and continues to inspire us to create more content that's catered to you guys that will benefit you in the long run. So now let's get into some of the individual picks now that we've knocked out that S and P. We're going to talk first. Let's go China, PDD. This one we are looking at. We have a live options trade on this one. Remember, we took 150% the first time we took this trade, right? We traded from, let's zone this out a little bit. Let's get a daily chart in here for y'all. So we traded those calls that were posted in the Discord right here. We traded them up to about $83, 150% return in less than 2 or 3 weeks. Phenomenal trade. We crushed it. So what can we look forward to in the next couple of weeks? Well, we have a support trend line here that has been holding pretty consistently. Sellers push down, but look at buyers picking right back up in lockstep with the sellers, holding us above support and closing us at about $70 to close the week. So the reason this is important is because the sellers came in here with slightly more than substantial volume, I would say, given the last couple of trading days were a little lighter than they were the last 2 days. Sellers came in force. What happened? Buyers came in with even more strength and matched their momentum and pushed price back up and gave us another opportunity to take that trade. That options contract came back to the entry we originally alerted, which means it's ripe and ready for opportunity. Make sure you follow those stops. You don't want to get locked into a trade that beats you to death. So we want this to hold here. Our expectations are this. We want to see PDD break above 72.71, give or take, right? These are just, it doesn't have to be an exact science. We just want to talk numbers here, right? And keep this simple, topical so that everyone can understand. We want to see this break above 73, 72, 73 and change. Then we have a gap opportunity to about 79. That would put those options contracts at about minimum 50% ROI. Phenomenal trade. You can make phenomenal money. I'm going to put this up on here so everybody knows what chart we're looking at here. This is PDD Pinduo. I think this is an incredible opportunity. Our biggest struggle is going to be this 200-day EMA that we're battling with right here at about 73 and a quarter. We need to break above that price to continue bullish momentum. If we don't, then definitely make sure you have your stop set because that means that we're dead in the water. Let's assume we break above that price. What can we expect? Well, I think we're going to continue along this trend line, consolidate. We'll get a break. We'll come back down. We'll test this resistance right here around 80 bucks. If we can break that, here's our upside, 90 bucks. As you can see, look back here. Let's go back in time. Back here on March of 2023, we had a huge gap down from 90 to 74. So that gives us opportunity to go through and clean this gap up. You saw the same gap here, same gap here. So look at how quickly this one can move from about 79, 80 bucks. 2-day move, it's up to 92. So $12 move in less than 2 days. Phenomenal for options, guys. Those kind of moves are how you really make money in an options market. Those of you that have traded Netflix with us, all the quick movers, even NVIDIA, right? We made, I think that options alert we posted for NVIDIA is up like 1,600% at this point. I literally bought a new car because we made enough money trading that I just figured, why not go crazy, be fancy. That trade in total was about 57,000 net profit for me personally. I know some of you guys did even better than I did. Absolutely love it. That was a great trade. We didn't think earnings would boom that much. We knew it'd be a run, but we did not know it'd be as much as it was. So we was a little bit of skill, a little bit of practice, a little bit of luck, but nevertheless, we crushed it. So any stock that moves as quick as that you can trade options with, you're going to make a killing as long as you're trading the right direction and managing your risk, which we always do. We always preach. You get the entry price, the sell targets, and the stop on every single trade. Links at the bottom if you want those. So we want to see PDD hold here around, call it 70 bucks. That's kind of our base support. I'm going to take a little bit of extra risk on this one simply because we've already taken 150% the first time. So I lump them in together and say, you know what, I'm willing to give away 20% more, 10%, 20% more, just because we've made enough on the trade already. We're going to watch this push up. We're going to watch it test $73, and then we want to see 80. From 80, we have a pretty clear room to sail to about 90 bucks. Our next target past that is this past resistance right here at about $100. That's going to be like kind of my be-all end-all target where I would cash out a large portion of the position and be happy with the trade. So that was PDD. Let's go on to the next one. A quick update for you guys. I know a lot of you are still in the Netflix trade that we posted. This trade is up about 137% as of right now. We took a short position. Remember, we took a long position, right? No, wow, that was even further back. We took our long position right at 240. When was the last time we were at 245? So this is when we initiated a long position. Here's why this was a great trade, right? We started to build this consolidation channel after selling off into oblivion, right? We're able to identify where our support was going to be and where our resistance was going to be, and we knew this was just going to ping pong through that channel. So what do? We buy the longs here. We sell the shorts here. We buy the longs here, sell the shorts here. Basically, we're trading the upside, then we're trading the downside, then we're trading the upside. This gives us the opportunity to just turn that into an ATM and continue to wash, rinse, repeat those trades. We bought a long position here, and we're currently up at about, the equity alert is up almost 100%. That's phenomenal for a large cap stock like this. Unbelievable trade. I believe that was in our stock growth trades. Great pick. I hope you guys got it. Then our options trade is up over 150%, over 200% if you consider the short. But nevertheless, here's what we can expect with Netflix going forward. So we found a new high, 450.97, but the same thing we saw looking at the SPY, RSI divergence, right? What does that mean? That means buyers' momentum didn't match buyers pricing. Okay, so that means that they were able to push to a new high, but they weren't carrying the same strength of momentum they were in the past run, right? So it pushed in the middle of June up to about 449. RSI pushed up to about 82, right? That's pretty overbought. Then we came down and we pushed back up, but we found a new high, 450.97. However, RSI couldn't push above 69, right? So buyers were losing their momentum. What that tells us is that buyers might be running out of steam here, and short of a catalyst, we shouldn't expect an egregious amount of upside from this point in time, right? For trades like this, it doesn't matter. This is why a great position and a great entry is so important. For this trade in particular, for those of you that got in on the alert we posted, you don't need to worry as much because you already have money in the bank and more profit on the table. You're playing with house money. So I'm going to take a little bit more risk here than I traditionally would. I like this above 416. If we break below 415, 416, I'm going to consider closing the position because that means we're probably going to come back down to about 350. No reason to leave all that money on the table. Always take your profit home with you. There will always be another trade. Don't ever think there won't be. Biggest lie in the stock market, that you're going to miss the one trade that would have made you. There's never going to be one trade that'll make you. It's the little teeny decisions along the way that add up and accumulate into compounding returns that change your life for the better. It is also the one-time big daddy losses that destroy you and take you back down to nothingness. You have to have gunpowder to get into the fight. Gunpowder is the capital in your account, the money in the bank, the money you need to initiate those positions. If you don't have it, you're screwed. So Netflix, again, a little optimistic, but still, we've got our stop and cut bait point about 415. We're up almost 100% on equity. We're up over 150% on the options trade, both of which I will be taking profit on if we cannot hold above 415, 410, 415. Next on the list, and as I mentioned, drop those tickers in the chat, guys. Whichever stocks you want to look at, we'll go through the chart, we'll analyze it, and we'll play a little game, see if you guys are right or wrong, and see how you guys have progressed in terms of reading the charts. Another update for you, Robinhood, baby. Phenomenal trade. We were buying equities around $869. That was Mr. Stocklog Profits. He quenched that one, absolutely crushed it. Let me get the ticker up here so nobody's confused. Robinhood, baby. Absolute bottom feeder chart. If you look at this, up to 85 on the IPO, completely dumped, down to $6.81. Incredible buying opportunity. We started buying this around $7-8. It's a great trade so far. We took our options trade just a couple of weeks ago. That is up, I think, 20-30%, give or take. I'm still holding that one long and strong. We're in a very, very strong bullish position here. We just broke above this 200-day EMA. That is a very critical price point for us to show strength over because it is our long-term moving average that has functioned as resistance for quite a while. We'll see we bumped our head here, and then here we didn't even get there. Fail, fail, fail. Boom, we broke over. Buyers showed up to the party. As you can see here, volume always precedes a change in price. Remember that, people. Doesn't always mean up, doesn't always mean down, but it does mean that the price is going to move. So we saw Robinhood stock chart break above this 200-day EMA, pushing with strength, very bullish position. We have our long-term options. We have our long-term equities. We are deep in the trade. We are green on the trade, and we're going to continue to make money. Let's see how far it's going to go. So if we look at this chart in the past, right, we can see that this likes to follow this little range we have right here. We've been consolidating. Oh, this keeps adjusting my chart. Sorry about that, guys. Let's go back to, let's go the 4 hour, then hopefully that won't happen. So this thing loves to consolidate into its little box, right? So we can see that this thing has played pretty well within the lines, which means that it has given us a pretty good indication of just how far the price was going to go, right? So we have a pretty clear-cut area right here around 1020, and then we have a pretty clear-cut support around 880, right? So if we go through the past of this chart, right, going all the way back to like mid-June, this thing has bumped its head around 10 and change, and then it's found the floor around $9. Now it has gone lower, but we're looking at a consolidation channel. Where might the big money buyers be loading up on this stock? That's the question we're asking. That's the answer we want. And I would argue that answer, that accumulation area, right? Because remember, they're not buying all at once. They're buying over time, and they are very structured in how they buy. They're not as focused on the exact entry. They're more focused on just loading up at certain points and building a long-term position, so we can benefit from that. And that's exactly what we did in this trade. So we could see that buyers are coming in, coming in, coming in. We see them coming in right here, pushing up. Buyers coming in right here. Look at that volume, a little stronger than normal. And then we started really abiding by this channel right here until we broke out. Now, here's what we need to happen, right? We've got these previous highs right here. We're going to go ahead and mark them right around 11.50. Then we've got another one around 11 bucks. And then we've got another high just short of $11, right? So we could argue that we need to see this push over 11, then 11.40, then 11.50. And if we do, let's look at the previous high. 12.76 is how high this price ran, right? So let's assume that we're going to see similar price action, because most times, guys, you will. In most instances, you will see similar price action to what you saw before. In this case, the past is just the future with the lights on. We need to be very mindful of that and take maximal advantage of it. That's how we manage risk. That's how we continue to benefit. So this chart is holding beautifully on the support trend line we drew a couple of weeks ago. Remember, we were just monitoring this for the look at the bounces and to see where the buyers were stepping in to determine the strength of the upside move. We determined it was very strong, hence why we traded both options and the equities play with this one. It has held beautifully at about 9.30, 9.40 and pushed as high as almost just short of 11 bucks. Now, we've got buyers coming in force. Look at this, the push from 9.98 all the way up to 10.80. That's an individual 4-hour candle with significant volume. Guys, look at all this green right here. Do you see this green, baby? Look at all that green. Buyers are interested and they want this stock, hence why they're buying. I do firmly believe it's undervalued where we bought it, and it's going to continue pushing higher. So as we watch this continue to push, we want to make sure that we have these levels marked out. Again, as always, guys, have your brokerage up. Take these notes, copy my chart, watch this later, make notes on with a pen and paper. The goal is for you guys to lock in all these price levels and understand them so that while you're watching the chart throughout the day, you can take advantage. So we want to be watching, again, 11, 11, and 11.50. And if we break above that, we're going to be aiming for about 12.75. Those options contracts should be flourishing, making a good amount of money. So make sure you have those in your portfolio. Again, the link is at the bottom. That's where we post all those alerts day in, day out. I'm very excited for this trade. I think we're going to push easily to 12 bucks. Let's look at the long-term deal. Long-term deal here, guys. Here's the reality of the situation. We have a few descending, we have a very important descending line of resistance, right? That's the 200-day EMA. It is coming to greet us forcefully. Here's the beauty of this. We've looked in the past. We've seen Robinhood move from 35 to, let's just map this move, right? 35 to 21. So it's a $15 move in 1, 2, 3 weeks. Let's assume we see a $15 move in the next 3 weeks to the upside. That would put us just above 21. So we're going to look at a $10 move all the way to 21. If we break above 21, guys, we're heading back to 50 bucks. That's my honest opinion. That's what I'm betting on here. That's what I'm aiming for here. I think that this has the opportunity to absolutely run and roast. RSI has not dwindled in the last, call it 6 months, except for the last push below 41. Now we're pushing to a new high on RSI of all time, guys. So this is still underbought on the weekly. We're looking at the weekly chart here. If we go to the monthly, even better picture. This is underbought. This is oversold on the monthly chart. Take a second with that. The monthly chart. So if we're looking long-term big picture, right? We want an easy swing trade. We buy it once, we wait a few months, we make a couple 100%. That's what I'm looking for here. Easy trades. You work a 9 to 5, you take these trades, you sit, you watch, you make money, wash, rinse, repeat. You don't have to be staring at your screen to do this. We are oversold. We pushed as high as 85 after the IPO. I think we have potential to inevitably, long-term, 2-3 years, definitely boom this thing to $50 plus. So I'm just going to sit, collect my check, and be happy with it. I've got the 2024 calls and the 25 calls. We're sitting pretty. We've got equity here. We've covered this trade perfectly. We are covered on all angles. We're going to make money here. We already are. But I think we have continued upside back up to $20. If we can break above 20, then 33 is next on the list. If we can hold 33 and buyers continue to come in, or God forbid, dare I say, short squeeze. If we see anything like that, or even any trending news or advancements in Robinhood's platform, boom, baby, we're back up to 50 bucks. So I think this is going to be a great long-term trade. Now, always mind the stop losses. We put those in there for a reason. That's where I'm going to exit the trade, because I think that's the opportunity to cut the risk and lose barely anything. If you ignore those, you will get destroyed. So do not do that. So that's Robinhood. As I said, welcome, welcome. If you're new, type new in the chat. If you've been with us a while, let's see your Discord username so that we know who we're talking with. We're going to be giving away some free memberships. If you type new in the chat, you're going to be eligible to win one of those. Gives you access to all of our alerts, the picks we're talking about, the stop losses, the entry, the exit, the trading education, which is brand new. Shout out to What the Duck. Unbelievable. He built like $1,000 trading education course, giving it away for free with the membership. Bada bing, bada boom. You guys make some money. You guys make some bread. If you're new, drop your email in the chat, or actually, better yet, send an email to this and just say, hey, I was in the chat. I was watching the video, and I heard there was an opportunity to test drive this new Porsche that you have in front of me. And that Porsche is our alerts program and trading education, and we will get you hooked up. Just shoot an email to this address right below me, and we'll get you hooked up, guys. If you don't win the free membership, you will get a discount, once-in-a-lifetime discount to come in and make some money with us. So let's dive a little deeper. You guys typed a few tickers in the chat. Drop the stock ticker in the chat that you want to cover. We're going to be playing a little smash or pass here in a little bit. I just have 2 more charts I want to pound through, and then we're going to be looking at the stocks that you want to look at and making sure that we're covering those picks. Let's look at another successful trade of ours, which I guess we're just absolutely – we're gloating a little bit, and that's the reality here, guys, because we have found some diamonds in the rough in a very tough market, and I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of Lee. I'm proud of Bull. I'm proud of Taylor. I'm proud of everybody, guys. Every trader here has done exceptionally well finding these trades, and I couldn't be happier. I love you guys. You guys do a great job. Shout out our analysts. I think are the best that there are. They're just the best people in the world. So this was another one. Mara, crypto run. We wanted it in advance. We got it in advance. Remember, we were talking about this stock breaking out over $8. That was our opportunity to enter. If you took that trade, you're up almost 100% right now. The options trade that we took was up booming over the last week. That was a phenomenal trade along with Coinbase. We really captured the crypto run, guys. If you watch the crypto markets, you will crush in the stock market because, A, I think a lot of people who get into crypto really understand technical analysis and really invest in it heavily, which is important. But it's easy to understand that, okay, when crypto's running, all these crypto-related names that either carry a lot of crypto on their balance sheet or are just in the space and will capture on the news and the social factor, they're going to benefit. So we took advantage of this. Look at the buyers on this one. Mara, Marathon Digital Holdings, unbelievable volume here, almost eclipsing our all-time high in volume here. I would argue that pound for pound, this volume is far more significant than this. And that's from the run from 35 cents up to, what was it, $83.45. Guys, this is the run. You do not want to miss it. I am long on this one, and I think we're going to make an absolute killing here. Again, I love seeing it. Josh Miller, welcome. Facebook user, welcome. If you guys are new, shoot an email to the address right below me. We're going to be giving away some free memberships, some discounts, maybe even some merch and swag. I want you guys to get access to all of our trade alerts, all of our trading education, all of our one-on-one support so that you can thrive here. That's the benefit. That's the mission of what we do, is we want to make financial education, financial literacy accessible to the entire world and not cost you thousands, because it just shouldn't. That's nonsense. This is stuff you can inject into your life right now. It's very simple. It does not take up more than an hour a day at most. And you can work your 9 to 5 and make a couple $100 a week on the side, trading with some wonderful people, make some new friends, and be happy along the way. So let's get back to it. Marathon Digital, Mara. We have a pretty significant resistance test here, guys, right at about $16. We need to see this break above 16. If we do, our first target here is going to be 28. Yes, I'm being ambitious. Yes, this is a lofty goal, so let's lower it a little bit. Let's call it 26, because this thing is just primed, ripe, and ready. If you look at the buyers here, RSI is in perfectly where it's exactly where we want it, because we want to see this boom from 66 to about 80. And I think on that run from 66 to 80, we can expect a move from, 5 to 18. We saw 378 to 1662, about the same move. Let's look at what has happened in the past when this chart is pushed above 14, $15. Boom, all the way up to 28. Let's look again right here at about 18. Boom, all the way up to 34, and then inevitably a new high, right? So this is our sky zone, guys. For those of you that have bounced and bounced and bounced and bounced and bounced at a sky zone, this is your trampoline right here. If we can break above 18 and change, I think we can absolutely boom to 30, and then we'll test 42, and then we'll test 57. But our short-term goal, we're aiming for 26.57. We have our options trade and our equity trade rolling. We're going to make a killing on this. The crypto space is doing quite well right now, and I think that the stock market tends to benefit more than the actual crypto space for now, right? Because we're talking stock trades here and options trades. This one's going to be a banger. Continue to watch it as we aim for 26. Updates will be posted daily or, well, weekly, depending on the trade. We don't need to update that often in the Discord. Let's talk Baba. Let's talk Alibaba, and then we're going to get right into a game of smash or pass, talking about the stocks you want to talk about. If you dropped a ticker in the chat, make sure to tag it so that I can cover it. If you don't, I can't cover it. If you are new here, you've never seen us before, you can either join us with the link at the bottom of the screen, or if you want some free stuff, free access, free discounts, maybe some merch, send an email to this email right you see right below me and say, hey, Quench sent me here. I heard there were some discounts and some free trials available. Did I win one? If you did, you did. If you didn't, you'll get a fatty discount to get started, and you'll be making money with us by Friday. Congratulations. I'm glad you're here. My coffee is delicious. So we have our Baba trade still rolling, guys. We entered this phenomenally well, and we have a great position here. I love the way this is consolidating. We did get a little scared down here when it was trading to about 77, but we are holding above 85, which is what I really wanted to see. Now, what we really need to see is this line right here. Let's make this a little fatter so you guys can really take a look. For any of you that are like, oh man, when's it going to break out? This is something very easy you can do on the chart in front of you that will definitely benefit you long term and for a long time. This will make you money long time. We have traded across these resistances that are marked on the chart here. We found higher or significant volume days. We drew this line simply across the top. You don't need 1,000 lines to make this make sense. You just need one or two support and resistances, and then one of these horizontal bad boys to get you going. So I like this resistance right through here because we did break through for a short period of time. Volume thinned out, and we found our true big daddy resistance about 120. So this is number one. This is number two. We need to see this line break first before we see another strong bullish move to the upside of 120. Either way, we will make money again up to 120. If 120 breaks, our next target is going to be 137. So write that down. Tell it to your mama. This one's going to make us some more money. We're going to set a stop here. Make sure you watch. If this thing keeps pushing below 83 bucks, it begins to become a little dangerous. It begins to become dangerous, which that doesn't even make sense, but it gets more dangerous there. So that's probably where you should set a stop slightly below there. But when you're in a trade like this, where we've made money on the way up 3 or 4 times with a core position, and then we add in a few shares here and there every time it dips, you can take more risk because you have profit to protect you, baby. So again, draw this line of resistance on your chart. You need to watch this line if you are trading this stock. This is Alibaba here. BABA is the ticker. If you're trading this one, you need to know this resistance. And then you need to know this resistance, because those are the only two things that are standing in between you and a big bag of money. So make sure you mark those on your chart and watch it from there. Now, let me get this banner down here. Fun one. Ba-bang. Let's play a little bit of smash or pass, baby. You drop the tickers in the chat, and we very quickly look at them, and we look at them to either validate or invalidate for a long position. We're not going short. We're just talking about going long, okay? So that means you type the ticker in the chat. I do a quick run over of the chart. First chance I've had to take advantage. What's Josh? Beautiful, man. I'm really happy to welcome to the party, baby. Welcome. I'm glad you're here, man. This place is a 1 in a million, one of a kind, because we care. And even if you don't get it right away, we'll make sure to stick with you and find a new way to teach you until you do get it, because this is something everybody needs to learn. Everybody needs to know it. I never thought it would become this big. I'm very grateful that it did, and it's because of you guys. The community here is unparalleled. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for being here and supporting us in everything that we do. So let's get into a quick game of smash or pass. Let me look at some of these tickers that you guys put up here. Let me go ahead and look. I've never even, I don't remember. It's CRH. I feel like that was one that we looked at last week, maybe, that I'd never heard of or known about. Wow, that's a hell of a cup and handle, baby. Look at that. Zoop. Back down. Boomed off 47.32. So this one looks like it has been absolutely moving for quite a while now. Past resistance at about 54.82. My God, look at that. Up to 55 and then down in 1998. So this company's been along a while. What is this? What is CRH? That's not, there's no way. That's Charles Schwab. What's CRH? What is this company? We got to do a quick search. Oh, International Group of Diversified Building Materials. Interesting. Building mats is an interesting it's an interesting place to look at right now. Okay, so let's look at this chart. So we saw this thing has pushed. So it looks like obviously it was either OTC or just low volume. Pushed to 54, down to 736, found support at 11, and then it's pushed to a new all-time high. Interesting. So buying was very significant here last month. This is the monthly chart, guys. So we're talking long term here. Buying was significant on the monthly chart. I would say that if this thing can hold above 50, you know what? I don't know. There's not that much upside here, guys. I mean, this is entered price discovery, which is great, but this has gone on quite a tear. And I don't know enough about home building to say that I anticipate home building to continue, but RSI divergence, nope. Let's just go technicals here. So look, this pushed up to about 51. RSI to about 75, so overbought, meaning too many people are buying. We gotta calm down. It's too many people. Push back up, huge move, right? So if you go back to October, that's a big move. So this thing basically doubled in price from October to now, but the buyer's momentum is just not there. This thing barely teetering above 65. I'm sorry, rest in peace. For now, I think there are just better opportunities in the market. If you're in this one, it's a great trade. Just set your stop. If it breaks below 50, be very careful. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and give this one a pass simply because the upside isn't there based on look, the risk to reward just isn't there to make this make sense. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on that one. Let's look again. Let's find another one. LVGN. LVGN. Am I crazy? I don't know. I don't see an LVGN, my friend. Yep, we're gonna have to go with sorry, Kang Tone, man. I don't even see LVGN. I don't know if they changed the ticker or what, but I'm not seeing it. Oh, CCL. This is a very interesting one. All right, baby. Carnival Cruise Corp. Look at this. Oh, wow. So I've had this drawn for a long time, which is very interesting to see that it is abided by the Fibonacci's with precision. So firm support 780. These are the price levels to watch. So, ooh, this is the monthly chart, guys. Looks like this has some upside to 20. I'm going to give this a quick. This is interesting. So should this hold right here? Okay. Should it hold above? What is that? Right there. Let's get it dialed in. If we could see this support holds at 18 bucks, I would say this one is going to be a smash. Trade it to 23, and then I think 30 is realistic. This could be a great position trade. Thank you for suggesting this, Facebook user, because I think this is going to be a great trade that I'm going to post in the Discord to all of y'all. So let's go ahead and say, yeah, we're gonna smash burger right now. CCL smash burger, baby, phenomenal. Look at this chart. Carnival Cruise Lines. Where's John Tag Lamonta when you need him? Where's the tag man at? This is Mr. CCL. Man single-handedly bought enough cruises to keep their money up. All right, so 792 bottom dollar. Look at what's happened in the past. So this could be very interesting. This chart could be crisp, Supremo, right? Absolutely got dumped on, right? Because people are like, no one's going to travel, and then it continued to sell off. It was already on the downward decline in 2018, and then COVID was just basically it was a salt in the wound, right? But this chart has history, and where there's history, there is no mystery. That's a good thing. Oh, write that down. That's a great quote. As long as there's history, there is no mystery. Meaning we can look at the past instances of price action in this chart to make a better and more accurate projection for the future that will benefit us far more than if we were guessing, right? Because we can always speculate on charts, but it's much better when we go back and comb through the data and make stuff make sense based on what's already happened, which can give us just better trade. So this thing held at about 18 bucks, right? Just about where it is now. Boom, easy move to 33. And it did it 2 or 3 times. This right here was the last time it traded below, it looks like below 15 bucks. This was back in 1996, long time ago. I was 6 years, I was a wee boy at 6 years old. This thing boomed to about $50, right? Came back down, found support exactly where we're talking about. Boom, $58. Support again right here. Boom, $72. What does that tell us? This is a pivotal support that this stock had held for almost 3 decades and cratered due to events out of the control of anyone in this universe, which lead me to believe that this, as an accumulation zone, should hold its weight. Let's assume it's going to. This is going to be a good trade, I think. There's some opportunity here. So what we're going to do, we're going to give this one a hard smash burger right here. As long as it holds above 1780s, right? Just above, call it $17. Let's see what this is low as. As long as it holds above 15, $16, this one's going to be a delightful trade to 23. If it breaks above 23, then we're going to be looking at 32. So there's almost 100% upside on this trade without taking anything more than 25% risk. 4 to 1. For every $1 you risk, you make 4. Phenomenal trade. I'm going to be looking through this for some long-term options trades as well, because this monthly chart, guys, remember, this is a monthly chart, the big daddy chart. This is the monthly chart. Buyers came in last month for June very strong. Look at that volume. Look at that candle. Firm body, no wick. That's a beautiful thing. Firm body, no wick. That's all muscle. It's no fat, no cellulite. That's just all brick. Brick muscle. Big muscle. That's Arnold. This candle is Arnold. Okay? That's a big guy. That's an Arnold candle. If you know what that means, then you know. This thing could have huge upside. Thank you for suggesting this, whoever that was. I appreciate you. That's going to be a good trade. Stay posted while I post those details in the Discord. If you're not in the Discord, just go to the link. I'm going to drop it in the chat so that you guys can get in there and make some money with us, because it's free and there's tons of free stuff, and just get the free stuff. It's good stuff. Imagine if you can go to like a restaurant and say, I want some free food, and they just give it to you. Well, better than that. Except this free food makes you money. Even better. So this is a very interesting chart. I'm going to go ahead and give this one a hard smash. To be honest, I think I might be in love, because I think there's some incredible opportunity here, especially given how hard this sold off during COVID. Every time you see like a harsh sell-off like this, guys, that means that the price can move up through that same area just as fast as it moved down. So just imagine you see some big old green boys in here, 780 to $51. You could see the same thing. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but I will say that you have some huge opportunity to boom yourself back up there. Let's keep an eye on the next one up. Josh Johnson, let's show the man some love. So you got a picture with your children there. Beautiful, beautiful. I love the family, man. You're doing this for them. You're going to make some money and set them up for life. VRT Holdings. If somebody could, what does this company do? Just kidding. I'll Google it myself. Let's take a quick look, because I think that we'll go through the chart, but I'm just national public service broadcaster for the Flemish community of Belgium. I feel like that might not be. Yeah, it is. Interesting. So we're just going to go to FinViz here, take a quick look. Okay. So insiders have been selling. This is heavily institutionally owned, strong performance year over year. Price targets are around $20. It's exceeded them. I don't know much about the company outside of there. I do know that they're extremely overvalued in terms of PE here. So the question is why? This thing has absolutely boomed. Again, we're on the monthly chart here. So remember, this is a long-term time frame. This thing has moved from 14 to 24 like it's nobody's business. Trading as low back in 22 as 750. Trading on past support, which almost even went even lower at 474. This thing's only been live for a few years, so this company doesn't have a ton of history. I would say that this thing is a great opportunity to look for a resistance bump here or here, and see if you get that little sell-off down to, call it $20 for, you see this cup and handle forming, right? You want to wait for the handle. You want to buy at the bottom of the handle, because that's when you see the boom. If you get that on this chart, I would take it, because I think it could be a great opportunity for a nice trade, you know, call it 20, 25% in equities. I don't know anything about the company, so I'm not saying long-term. They're great stuff, but looking at the monthly chart, I think there's definitely some opportunity. So here's, oh my God, that's some gap. That's some gapness right there. This must have a small float. So this thing gapped down back in 22, came down 775, and now it is trying to test for a new high. You know what? I got to give it to you. above 23.60. This one's wow. I'm surprised. I didn't think this one was going to get a smash. I'm not going to lie to you. I was a little judgmental. I was like, this one didn't look that great. But looking at it a little more closely, it's why we always want to look at the monthly chart, and then we go back to the smaller time frames to look and get a more precise understanding of where can we enter and where can we take profit. But first, understanding trend and direction with the long-term intervals. So VRT here, I'm gonna give it a hot but not great. It's still smash. That's fair. So I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it a. It's hot. It's not great. Still smash. I like this opportunity here based on what it's done in the past in terms of gapping up and down. There's some big potential here. So you have a little bit of risk on the table, but if you look at this as position trade above 23.41, I would say that's your cut bait point. I think you could realistically aim to see if this tests 27 again. Not great risk reward with opportunities there, because if it pushes to a new high, then you're sitting in a great position in the driver's seat to really make some money. Now, personally, I would wait to see if this cup and handle plays out. Either it pushes to 27 and then comes back down to find support at 23, or this is as high as it goes, and you find support between 21 and 22. That, I think, there you go. Mary Krista, she's in my mind. She understands me. That's what we're talking here. Realistically, if I'm just being honest, guys, I just want to be honest with you, okay? But that's pretty appropriate. I think that this has cup and handle potential, but we got to be very careful in how we take this. I think either bumps head here. Let's draw this out. Either this is the end, trades back down to around 21 and then booms, or option number 2, you see this thing continue to move up to about 27, 28, and then it comes back down just like you see right about here. It's like we saw back here, right? And then from there, you see a baboomski, right? That's what you want to see. And I mean, if you want to project, a great way to project future price targets, I wouldn't draw it off the very top. I would draw it off a sensible wick. But if you want to project future price targets, guys, on any of these trades, I would just learn to use the fibs from the high to the low, always from the high to the low. This gives you a great opportunity to understand where it might retrace. I don't know what happened to the numbers per se. Let me look. It doesn't show yet, or the colors are just all jacked up. So give me just a second. There you go. Now you can see them. Okay. This is the golden mean, right? So we talked about the reversion to the golden mean strategy. That's back to the 61.8% fib. That means the most likely outcome, right? And that is ironically right around where we're looking for that handle to finish up, right? So if this pushes up and comes back down, this is the best case scenario. We're buyers on the downside, right? So we're watching this go up. We're doing, no, patience. We let it sink down, come below 24 to about 21, 22, at which point then buying makes sense, because you can set a very tight stop loss and say, I'm out of the trade if it doesn't continue here, which means that you're going to take very little risk for a pretty decent reward if you're looking at $30 to the upside, $30 price target, or as high as 40. I mean, that's what the next fib extension would be, right? So that's extrapolating all this price data and estimating what the next move would look like. And I think it's pretty trustworthy in most cases, as long as you have volume, and you have some volume here. So again, we're giving that exactly. Mary Kristen nailed it. So thank you for speaking what's on my mind. All right, let's look. Cade Bergman, Mr. Cade Bergman. If you guys like content and you like YouTube and you like learning about NFTs, crypto, and the like, this is the man. Type his name in the old Juggle, in the old YouTube, and give the man a look up. But he didn't mean GM. I think he just meant, what's up, dude? Good morning. Good morning. But we're going to look at General Motors anyway, because why not? Interesting company with an interesting chart. Cade Bergman for the win. Look at that. I think you nailed it. There's some opportunity here, and we are going to capitalize like the Americans we are. So looking at the GM chart here, we're seeing quite a bit of consolidation from 40 and 32. So if we go back to 2017, this has been happening for a number of years. COVID, free money, it boomed, came back down to reality. Okay. That's what most of these do. They boomed because money was free or cheap, and they hit escape velocity to go into a different world in which nothing makes sense. Fundamentals don't matter. Charts don't, nothing matters. The money was free. They have come back down to what I think is a truthful place, a truthful kingdom, if you will. Surrendered to us. And they found a truthful place in the market, and their charts are just somewhat reasonable. So basically their valuations are no longer extraordinarily inflated. They're just inflated a good amount. So this thing likes to bounce off 32 bucks. I think that's a good cut bait point. If you look at right here, we're trading just below, I believe we just below the 200-day EMA? So look at how much this stock chart has respected that 200-day EMA. That's why this is important to have on your charts, guys. It has respected this EMA like it's a disappointed father, if you will. So it has bounced its head a few times, traded off support. It traded above for just a brief while. For a moment, father was not disappointed, right? Come back down. Father even supported you for a minute. And then boom, dad came home and said, sit down. I'm disappointed in you. I can't believe you did this again. And now it's barely pushing up against. So either it can be approved by father or disappoint father again. It needs to break above 39. Let's call it 40 bucks. We need a clean break over 40 bucks, and we need the price to hold there. If we do, there's definitely upside to 55. This is getting a smash. Cade, the most unintentional smash he ever threw out there. Smash. And yes, I said smash. I meant it that way. I like this one over 40 bucks. I think this would be a great momentum breakout candidate. So look back here. We have a nice testimonius, right? So right through here back in 2020, we traded down to about 39.59, right? We held up, we boomed. Now again, free money, fake economy. It boomed. However, we still instilled a support. Look at that. That's top of consolidation channel. God, I'm just almost too good at this sometimes. So this is our long-term horizontal resistance, right? So this is a channel. If you look right here, you got a channel from 24 to 31. Trading can be very easy, you guys. Draw 4 horizontal lines. It's kind of all you need to do. Now you have to know where to draw them, but nevertheless, it sounds complicated as it seems. I'm trying to teach you guys simple techniques that will benefit you. So looking at the GM chart here, right? It came down to 23. It pushes up to 32, and then it keeps playing the same game over and over until it pushes up to 40. And then it comes down, and instead of bumping its head on this resistance at 32 bucks turns over and becomes support. Past resistance can become future support and vice versa. So as we look at our newly found brotherhood of support here at $32, and we look at our not newly found, but our long-term resistance at 40.41, once price finally escapes, hit that escape velocity, right, and pushes to about 46, it'll come back down, and there is the opportunity for it to turn this over, and $41 becomes the new support, and we watch this thing push to 55 bucks. Again, it's GM, it's a staple. Overall, I think it's a decent company, and I think it's a decent long-term hold. I want to say that it's been covered in our Rest and Retire newsletter. Oh my God, their PE is 6. Yeah, I'm saying this is going to be a hard smash. I believe this was covered in our Rest and Retire newsletter. If it wasn't, it needs to be. Hint, hint, Lee. You got to check that out because I think there's a lot of opportunity there. If you haven't checked out Rest and Retire, go to the website, check it out. It's great. 3 long-term growth picks sent to you every month with a detailed full-page research report on why it makes sense and our price targets and everything else. Definitely worth checking out, and it's cheap as hell. So want to build the long-term portfolio while we trade short-term. As we take our winnings from short-term, we pile them into long-term so we can compound that wealth, compound those gains. And I'm going to take a quick drink of coffee now to your commercial break for just one moment. And we're back. So again, smash or pass. We're talking about the stocks. Are they great for a long opportunity or not? GM just passed the test and got the yes. I'm loving it here. I think as long as we're holding above 32 and we break above 40, good to go. Golden as ever. Let's see some upside. I actually kind of like it. And to be honest, I'm probably going to write it down, and I'm going to do some research, and I might actually buy some more of it. I have a little bit of my long-term holdings, but not a lot. And I might add more. I don't know yet. So don't take my word for it because I haven't done enough research. But you can add it to your list. CCL also. Bada bing. Dave, look at this. Mr. SL Patience. That's what you should call him, Mr. Stop Lock Patience, because that man does have patience of a saint. Dave got in NCLH at 12. Let's take a look at that chart just so we can brag about Dave, because Dave crushes it. Bada bing, almost up 100%. That a boy. Then you got CCL in the sevens. That's a phenomenal entry that I actually enjoy. You're up like 200, almost 300%. Dave, what a G. I respect you, my friend. I love you, my friend. Continued success. ENPH will do it. ENPH, N phase energy. We've talked about this one. Whoa, there's a lot of crazy lines. We don't even need those on here anymore because it didn't hold up in that range. We have here our long-term channel indicated by these very thick blue lines that we very much so like to draw. Okay. Resistance, support, very simple. 2-3 lines max. That's all you need to read a chart. That's it, and that's all. We got our support, we got our resistance. We've bumped our head, we've come down, mommy's given us a band-aid, and now we're trying to lick our wounds and hold here. However, I don't know if we're going to. I think we're going to test this support again, just like we did back in 21, and then we did it again in 22, and then we did it in the middle again of 22, and I think we're going to do it again in 23, at which point I do think there is going to be some righteous opportunity here. If this very thin blue line had held, I think that would have solidified itself as long-term support as it was past resistance, right? Turns over. Now it's resistance again. Keep that in mind. This went from support to resistance, went from resistance to support, then back to resistance. No good for the bulls, right? We're talking smash or pass long-term positions, not patsy. So this 200-day EMA is holding us up. That's mommy kissing the boo-boo, right? Trying to hold it together and stop from crying so that everybody in the neighborhood doesn't see you crying again and you don't get picked to play baseball anymore. Okay? Don't want that to happen. So if that holds, call it 160, I like it to 190 because this company has a lot of velocity, in my opinion, and especially in the stock market. People they love it. It's not a Tesla, but I will say that I would argue that traders that trade this and aggressively buy this support it just so much as those who do it with Tesla. So phenomenal company to trade options with because it has strong volatility, quick moves, especially post-earnings moves. This thing can absolutely boom, and those contracts can make you a lot of money. So we have neared our long-term support. If it does not hold, all bets are off. I think $100 is in the picture, and it could happen. However, I wouldn't bet on 160 not holding. I would be very careful betting against the bulls here because, again, this chart has had strength all throughout COVID, and it's been, I don't know, almost unshakable. I mean, the thing pushed from what, $1.65 in 2017. It's at $3.39, unfathomable returns. I want to say there's a lot of institutional interest here. We're going to go ahead and look, double check, fact check that. Yeah, at 81%. So institutional interest is there. Institutions are buying. I see an 8% institutional transaction here. However, the price targets, we're still trading quite a bit below. So June 30th, B. Riley, I don't know who the hell that is, but they lowered their price target, but they changed it from a neutral to a buy. Price target at 214, signifying about 50% upside from here. Piper Sandler has it at 255. Morgan Stanley has it at 268. So the price targets are substantially above current trade price. That would put the PE in crazy zone. It's at 50 now, but I mean, to be honest, their EPS this year is 170. Next year, they're expecting 30%. For the past 5 years, 86%. Their sales are growing and their earnings per share expected is growing. So I do think that there's upside here. Year to date, it's down 37%. So you could argue that there's upside, and if this 160 holds, this might be an incredible place to make a position. Mike, actually make a note. We need to watch this for some long-term options trades. We can't miss this one because it's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to give it a smash. Oh, my God. I'm just giving them out today. Smash. 160 hold. As long as we hold 160, we're good to go. This one will be sensual, tender, and enticing. And I think that we have a lot of opportunity here in the options market. So I'm going to go ahead and do some research on my own, and I'll be posting those trades in the Discord. That is it for Smash or Pass. Again, I put the Discord link back at the bottom. It's free to join. You get tons of free stuff. At the very least, you're not trading alone anymore. You have a whole team to watch your back find the research, do the research, and post it for an easy to understand format with a buy price, sell target, analysis, and maximum risk, aka stop loss, so that you know when it's time to cut bait. Going back to you guys, though, I love you. I love you dearly. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you had a good time. I hope this made sense. And most of all, I hope you're set up to make some money for the week. We are going to do one more little segment for y'all, and that's going to my private screener that I have spent years building that has won at over, I would say, 76, 77% win rate for the last 3 or 4 years, with an average gain of about 27%, especially for small caps. So let me go ahead and pull this up here so I can give you guys a little taste. We're going to find one small cap stock that might have some opportunity for a run. We had 9 weeks consecutive winners, and then we stopped doing them for a little while. So I'm saying we're still trading on that 9-week consecutive winner. Where in the hell did this go? Give me just one moment here. There it is. My swing filter. All right, let's take a look at these names. Wow, we worked down to 20 cents. That's kind of hilarious and appropriate. I thought the whole thing was a scam anyway. Okay, which one of these do I like, if any? Oh, let's take a quick look at this one. I know it's a Mr. Stock Like Profit's favorite. Fubo, huh? Fubo, come on now, Fubo. So, Fubo, interesting chart here. Let's watch this one. Let's watch breakout over 221. Aim for 250. Over 221. Aim for 250. I like that. So again, guys, these are breakout only trades. That's anticipating the breakout. If it breaks out over 221, we buy on the breakout and then we trade to the upside. Target 1, 2, 3, let's 238, then 250 plus. That's what I like on this one. Over 221, then aim for 238 and 250. So we're only buying on that momentous breakout, right? So buyers came in strong back in January, February, March, April, May, and they pushed this thing to 213 all the way from $1. So they doubled it in price, right? Sellers came in, we pushed back down. Now we're holding up and we're trying to trend above these EMA supports right here, right? So 275 is our 200-day EMA, and I think we are bound to meet again with this significant monster of a resistance line. And I think that this past push to 324 tells us that it's possible. But again, we've got support here, support confirmation at about 231, right? So if we go at 221, you buy the breakout, you trade it to about 230, 235. Great opportunity for a quick scalp, quick profits, a nice momentum trade. If it keeps going, there's definitely opportunity to 250. If it keeps going, this could go to $3, meaning you took almost damn near 100% on the trade. Great small cap equity swing / day trade. I would hang more on the day trade side, but if it continues throughout the day with significant volume, no harm in swinging. As long as you've taken profits along the way, I think this will be our small cap stock pick of the week. I'm willing to stamp my name on this one. I'm happy with it. One more, because I know a lot of you were asking. So ROKU, here's what's happened. So if you guys remember, a few weeks ago, we discussed this one, right? One of my only tech trades in the last couple weeks that did not pan out as anticipated. However, we mapped this out a few weeks. Was it 2 or 3 weeks ago? Maybe 3 weeks ago. We mapped out this nice, cute little blue box here. Okay. We looked at this long-term consolidation happening, right? All along, almost over, what is that? Almost over a year's time. It has really loved to consolidate just above $60. Okay. Buyers have come in a few times as we break out, but all in all, we've consolidated pretty healthily between 51 and 65. But this blue box is very interesting. Here's why. This little consolidation zone, I think, is the most important if we're anticipating an upside move. Here's why. Because if we go below here, that's an easy cut bait from right here. If we're trying to trade on long-term support at 51, that's a lot of downside to take in before you finally cut bait, which means that you're going to have to expect a lot more upside, and I just don't think that's going to happen right now, given the nature of the market. However, here's what I like about ROKU. We did push up, and we found new relative highs. 75.94. We didn't push above this high, which is not good because we had buyers here. Would have pushed above that high. I think everyone would have been elated. They would have said, this is booming to the moon. Everybody's going to be happy. Bada bing. Let's make some money. We traded back down. We couldn't hold that 200-day EMA as support, just about 68.69. If we can hold support here, that's why I drew this blue box. If we could stay within the confines of this blue box a little longer until we push up, right? So let's draw this out for you guys. If we can stay in this little blue box just for a little longer until we push up, find some support, I think this thing will head back to 98 bucks. However, if it cannot maintain itself inside this blue box, look at this beautiful inverted head and shoulders right here, right? That tells us here's the top of our neckline. We need to see that break over 67 and then 68, 69 and change. Basically, we want to see this above 70 bucks and holding until we get back to about 81. Then guess what? This consolidation area right here kicks in, and we have an additional opportunity to find support at 82 bucks, which means we can either leverage into the trade again, add more, or we can basically have a nice, slow, prosperous trade. Support will kick in there. We can either add more to the position, take profit there, and lower our risk. It's a great opportunity to load up on a next leg up options trade, also a plus. But most importantly, if we kick back into that area, then we can expect an even better high than previously anticipated, above 98 to about 104. Because if it holds in this little consolidation area, it's probably going to play by the same rules again. So we're just banking on the fact that this thing is curling up magnificently. We did get a new high on the RSI, even though we didn't get a new high on the price. Looking at the weekly chart here, the biggest head and shoulders you've ever seen. Unbelievable. But we have huge upside, guys. If you look at the monthly chart, even more so. Month over month, pound for pound, this thing's actually looking pretty good for those of you holding long-term equity, right? Buyers came in and picked this up, and buyers have held the line right there above 56 bucks. And as long as they do, this thing's in great shape to push back up to 100, 150. So for those of you that are holding long and strong, I'm right there with you, and that's what I like. That is all. Hour and 10 minutes. I wanted to be done in an hour just because I feel like that's maximal efficiency. You guys are getting the biggest bang for your buck and preserving time for your own friends, family, and other activities. I love y'all. I can't wait to trade with you tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the Discord. The link's below. It's free. Make sure you join it. I love y'all. Stay blessed.